Good morning. Thanks again for the order. Appreciated the negotiability on pricing a little bit. You're getting an incredible guitar. Just doing a really quick final inspection. I was going to say for you, with you, as we're seeing this together. That way, if anything happens in shipment, we'll be able to hold the shipper's feet to the fire because we're documenting full condition, right? So listed in very good condition on the Reverb page. Just do a real quick pointing out there's a couple little minor, as I described in the copy of the ad, a couple minor cracks on a couple of the knobs. They're super solid, so I figured leaving them original was better. I think I said that in the listing as well. But we got freshly polished frets, totally dressed and shining perfectly. Up through the headstock there. Flip her over, you can see the serial number. You can also see there's a little tiny, one little tiny dent on the side of the fingerboard right there. If I can get the light to play right. Yeah, you can almost barely see it there. So yeah, obviously called that stuff out in the listing, and that's why we're calling it very good condition. Some very, very light, let me turn it this way, buckle marks right there that thankfully you kind of have to be pointing it directly at a reflection in order to see there. And that would be the conclusion of the visual inspection here. I've got it plugged into an amp, demonstrate that everything's working. So right now the push-pull pots are down, so it's the humbucker mode here. We got bridge pickup, neck pickup, middle for both. And there's the bridge. We'll do volume. You can hear. Helps to test volume if you're selecting the right pickup, right? No scratchies there, and then we got tone knob. Now I'll pull the pots out for single coil mode. Hear it a little bit brighter there. Neck pickup. Middle for both. Bridge. And obviously there's the bridge volume there. Get it back in the neck, roll that up. So yeah, all's working as advertised. Now I am going to, let me turn this amp off. I am gonna slack the strings for shipping, so there's no additional pressure on the neck, especially given the notorious headstocks that these guys have. But she is ready to go. Excited for you to play this one. So get this back here in its case. I'll show you in the case real quick. Real quick. We've got a couple of items. Truss rod tool, and then the Gibson info card that confirms serial number and model number and all that stuff. So those will be in there waiting for you. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna give her a final wipe down before closing her up. Got the microfiber. That way all the fingerprints from the test will be gone. I just love this Pelham blue and the way it plays with the cream hardware and stuff. I just love it. Obviously you do too, or you wouldn't have dropped so much coin on it, right? So cool. Now to slack the strings. That'll be waiting for you to snug back up. Don't want to go too loose. Just because they do hold the tailpiece on. All right, so those are nice and slacked. Now I'm going to put paper in between the steel strings and the nickel frets. Steel being denser and harder than nickel. Don't need the strings themselves to get bonked and put any dings into the frets, which then have to be worked out. Now I'm going to pull the switch tip off here. That is actually a reverb recommendation, just because it's one of those things that sticks up on the into the top of the guitar. So it's just kind of a safety thing. So that'll be in the accessory compartment waiting for you as well. And she is ready to go. You can see the hard shell case. A few little white marks from the case doing its job. Gibson branded. And as you can see, labeled for my reference, just with a little glow-in-the-dark tape right there. Cool. So I've got my StewMac guitar shipping system ready to go here. Got the bottom inflatable cap. Stick the case down in there. Now these cases are pretty cool. They've got a center reinforcement kind of post that goes across, and you thread the top of the guitar case through that collar. And then that rides right about 2/3 of the way down. It keeps it nice and rigid in the middle. And then we've got the little top cap. Goes right around the top of the case here. I was gonna say might need two hands, but that's sitting real good right there. Cool. So she is ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and slap a few Fragile stickers on this box. Sorry, you don't need to see into my into my basement closet there. Slap a few Fragile stickers on there. I do have to still print up the packing list and include that in the box. But she's solid. She's ready for you to give it the new home. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that label printed up, get it all shipped out to you today. We'll go out this afternoon. And as always, hit me up if you got any questions. Thanks.